Now, a couple of things are missing in the story. One, who were the guys responsible for this? Or if there was nobody who was really responsible for hiding or for hiding the containers, more or less, does it mean that perhaps the energy minister was misled with the numbers that he was given in the beginning? Remember that he took a report from ECG and said it in Parliament and gave a certain number. He followed up and went to the port himself and got a different number. And they said, look, the two numbers do not, there's some discrepancies. And so let me commission an investigative body to look into the numbers and to sort of audit it. Now, the investigative body or the committee is done with its work. And now we're finding out that apparently the 2,491 containers that were supposed to have been handed over to John Jinapo as the sector minister, there's actually even more. Okay, so I want to know what accounts for instance, the difference in the numbers. That's number one. Number two, who were the guys who gave out the wrong information to the sector minister? And what have we done with those people? Because quite clearly, I don't see from this story a case of playing thievery per se, as we initially were suspecting. You know, initially we thought some people have stolen the containers and they've hidden them somewhere. And you see the videos that we played earlier about people who were, telling us that some people had supplied the containers to them and they were using the materials in the containers and so on. So this finding doesn't align or tally with the earlier report that came out. I don't know. I don't know whether you'll be able to help us with this little confusion in our minds.
Yes, it's a bit cumbersome.
Yes,
it's a bit confusing
yes.
Because report taken area on suggests 2,400.
Yes.
And then the plus.
Yes.
And after the Commission of
the audit,
Independent Investigative Audit revealed
2,607. Yes, so 637.
37.
Yes.
637. It means it has a difference of about 200 and something containers that were unclear. But, my brother, the question is, let's see ECG. I don't think in a day that they imported, just a day, that they imported 2,637 containers into this country.
Fact is, no. These were imported in batches.
In batches?
In batches, yes.
And then we have a administrative body.
Yeah.
The managing director descend down with his management. We have the board of directors who support the day-to-day administrative work over there. And now, if you look at their procurement system, as and when they intend to procure, it must show in their system or the books of records that they have that today we have procured this cap. Is at a port unclear. Tomorrow we have procured this bottle. Has also come to add up at the port unclear. Then the question is, why must it sit down to increase up to 2,337 containers unclear?
Yeah.
It's a question we need to ask ourselves. The people that we put them in charge, were they really worked? So trust me, if there has not been a change of government, would this thing come to the light for us to know or to not come? We wouldn't know about this. And for such a long time, it will never tell. It is the change of administration that the handover of the document, the minister decided maybe he saw something fishy and then wanted to conduct investigation into it. That has revealed into all this. And even if independent commission were not, constituted to look into this matter, the excess of about 200 and something would have not been retrieved. Do you get the point I'm trying to make?
I do.
Now, we have trusted people. We have put them as a management. We have handed the entire institution into their care. That they should take a good decision and to make sure that ECG progress. My brother, why all these containers are spiral is a question we need to ask.
Right.
And then brought these people in book to ask them that the duties that we assign to you to take charge as a manager, you sit down as a host to moderate this program that we are doing. If one or two reasons there is a quarrel between me and my brother that will result into assault, what do?
Right.
Okay? You steer in and control so that nothing of that sort do happen. We put a managing director there from 2000, and I don't know actually since when these containers 2,637 started coming into Ghana. Okay, maybe it's from 2008, 2006, 2007. I don't know. I can't actually tell. Unless maybe we find out since when the procurement were done and this container started coming. And even if that is so, there were people that we put them in charge. And we are expecting that they will manage this. Okay? Now, having imported over 2,637 containers into this country, and you've been unable to clear them, accumulating demurrages and then poor charges that has gone high. Sometimes it's even higher than the, what do you call it, the duty that you're supposed to pay on the containers that were imported.
Okay.
Do you understand? What are we doing to ourselves as a Ghanaian? Do you understand?
Right.
So in a nutshell, the minister, whether he's being misled with the quantities of the containers that were imported, or somebody there didn't tell him the truth or them. I trust and believe that there is a syndicate at ECG that we need to trace and then fish it out. If you couldn't do that, okay, maybe if you go to their procurement section, there is somebody in charge of the procurement that as and when we intended to procure container or other goods outside, records were taken. It goes through the management, and then before finally we approve for procurement.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know whether you may have heard this, but one of the issues that came up when this revelation came out was that the procurement unit of ECG had actually been merged by the estate unit of the same ECG.
Yes.
And it was one of the issues that John Jinapo raised and said it's for him is beggar's belief. Because
it's supposed not to be so.
Yes, because the estate unit has its own
work of doing.
Exactly. So and by merging it, what were you trying to achieve?
Yes.
And so it sort of weakened the procurement department of ECG.
Yes.
So just to add to the point that you made earlier, because you're raising issues with procurement.
You are right.
The challenges that they have with the procurement.
You are right. You are hosting a morning show.
Yeah.
Okay. And suddenly they say we are adding evening show to what you are doing.
Yeah.
So when the jingle come, you are, your jingle read the morning show, whatever you do, Good Morning Ghana. And then in the next few minutes, another one will read Good Morning Evening, Good Evening Ghana.
Yes.
So the listeners, which one are they trying to listen? It caused disparity in the show. It's exactly what we are talking about. Imagine procurement with estate. That they have a different collective work to do. Okay? If you made them, then the question is, we could ask, who did that? Under whose supervision that sat down for this thing to happen? Okay? These are all things that we are talking, we are referring to the previous administration, where things were not properly handled. And that has brought all this thing. I don't see the reason why somebody will sit down accusing this present government, a government which is less than 5 months, that you can say the government is not up to its toe or not checking things well. This government come, and as a matter of urgency, to see to the activities of ECG. Last time I checked, we had a meeting with them at the Pediasi Lodge, Pediasi Valley Resort.
Yes.
When they came, what they told us, they own, I think, about 63 billion Ghana cedis. Okay? And then in our conversation with them, I serve as a committee on energy. In our conversation with them, they mentioned one, I forgot, that they need to pay them $100 million. No, $100 million, I forgot the figure. They have to pay them. If they couldn't pay them, they will shut them down.
Which institution is that?
I forgot the institution. I will remember and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Now, ECG managing director was telling us. And ECG owned over 63 billion Ghana cedis. They have a lot of money with other institutions that they were not correcting. When I was checking, I got to know that Ghana Water Company owned them 15 million cedis that they've not corrected it. Do you understand?
Right.
So we put people in administration to manage the affairs of the institution that we have entrusted under their establishment. And then they go there and mess up things. They go there and do things any way they want. Can your company here, Metro TV, allow estate and procurement to merge? Whilst they have a different duties to perform. And so wherever sit down as a then, allowing ECG procurement department and then the estate department to merge must be brought to book. And I asked him a question, why he did that. Is the way they do that to, mismanage the affairs of the institution. And that has brought all this thing. Now, as we speak, we were told that the containers have got missing. Now, we've been able to retrieve 2,637 containers unclaimed.
Yeah.
Okay. Since when that containers has been at the port unclaimed? The management there, the board of directors there, we should ask them a question. If we've been able to raise money, and I trust that all these procurements, the full payment has been done.
Right.
So the supplier to us, we don't own him. But if we have been able to pay the full payment of 2,637 containers of cable metals that has been landed at our port and still sitting down unclear. My brothers and Ghanaians, are you serious? Are we serious? And we are taking this matter as a joke. The management and the managing directors and the board of directors who have steered affairs of ECG from some time to time must all be called back and ask a question about this. And we should ask them, if it is your own company, would you have done that?
Yeah.
If you can't do that to your own company, why is it that the nation have entrusted you and given you a position to handle that you can look at the interests of the nation? You mismanage things and that debt has accrued for ECG to pay.
Yeah.
Okay? As you sit down here, my brother sit down here. Having spoke, then I don't know that he was coming from MPP.
Right.
I wanted him to come to NDC, but now he has shifted to MPP. Because if you look at his defense that he was defending minority, he's going to point out the minorities.
Maybe you make me your presidential candidate.
That's why I'm opting you to come, because I'm always looking for good people to come to NDC so that we can brainstorm and then move Ghana forward.
MPP is sweet.
All right.
You see, to come to conclusion, what I want to say is that these people who we have entrusted, okay, this entity into their hands, that they sat down to mess up all this stuff, must be brought into proof. For some time, you know, the demurrages and then the port charges were piling. I had something was about 15-something million that ECG were not paying.
Right.
But demurrages and the port charge kept increasing day by day. If you don't clear them today, tomorrow it will increase. If you don't clear them the next day, 3 days, it will be increased. Now, because they were unable to pay for these charges, all these containers are there. Okay? And the money used to procure this are for the state. So how do we sit down and then allow the nation to move on reckless way in the hands of some people that we have entrusted, giving them appointment to handle the position. So I'm of the view that we can go back and look for all this administration, those who steer affairs of it. Now, first we were told the containers are missing. Thank God we have retrieved them. If we have retrieved them, it comes with a different question. Now come and answer the reason why, under your care, these containers were procured into the country and remain unclear
Okay.
up to now?
All right.
Come and answer.